Good morning, everyone. This is Leah Dixon in Port Coquitlam, British Columbia. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and every Tuesday morning I come onto Facebook and go live with some kind of demonstration, usually a card, sometimes a 3D project or something. Today I had really hoped to come live and show you the You're a Peach suite. That includes the Sweet as a Peach stamp set, because I am doing a Sweet as a Peach stamp camp this June, and the deadline to register for that is May 14th. Unfortunately, my order still has not arrived, so I'm hoping it's going to arrive today, and I'll probably pop on this evening and do kind of a bonus video this week, just so that I can show you guys that Sweet as a Peach suite. Oh, good morning, Ruth. I see that comments are coming through this morning. That's wonderful. Oh, we've got noise going on in the background. That's all good. Yeah, probably this evening I'll pop on and do a bonus Facebook Live so that I can show you guys the Sweet as a Peach suite. I am so excited about it. Instead, though, I get to use one of my other favorite stamp sets. Today we're going to be focusing on the Pretty Perennials. So I'm going to switch you over to my desktop and let's see, transition over, there we go. Switch over to my desktop and show you what I'm going to be using today. It is some new product that I am going to be using, as well as something that's retiring. So the Pretty Perennials is a stamp set that's in our mini catalog, which is going to retire on June 3rd. And so I wanted to get a little bit of time to play with it a bit more. I'm very sad to say it's not carrying over. And then today I'm going to pair it up with some of our new In Color Designer Series paper. So this paper comes in all of our color families, including our 2 In Color families. And then you get 4 sheets of each color, and they're double-sided. So here's the 2 sides for that sheet, and then there's the 2 sides for that sheet. And yeah, so you can buy them in the brights, the subtles, regals, neutrals, and then the In Colors from 2020 and the In Colors from 2021. They're fabulous. And when you do buy the In Color packs, they're just slightly larger, and you actually get 8 sheets instead of 4 sheets of each color, because there's only 5 colors in those packs. All right, so I guess they're not technically larger, but you get more of each color. All right, so that's what we're going to be playing with today. So I have actually chosen, oh, good morning, Darlene. I have chosen a piece here in Pool Party out of our Subtles collection, and I've just cut it down to 4 1/4. The reason I did that is because then it's going to fit perfectly across my card front. So I have taken a piece of thick Whisper White cardstock, cut it in half at 5 1/2, scored it at 4 1/4, and now we have our fabulous card base. Oh, and I've got Janine on this morning as well. Hi, Janine. Aloha. I hope you're feeling a bit better today. All right. So this is just a little bit large, and the reason I kept it at the full 6 is I wanted to show you how I'm going to do my cut on this. This is actually going to allow me to make 2 cards out of this one piece that I've cut. So this is 4 1/4 wide. I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer, and I'm going to pop my paper down on here. But what I want to do is I want to actually end up with, actually here, I'm going to move, actually no, I can do it here on this grid. I've got my inches, I just have to position it right. So I'm going to cut this in a diagonal so that it creates 2 cards for me. So on one side, I want to actually cut at 2 1/2, and then on the other side, I want it to be at 3 1/2. So it's going to create a diagonal there, but it's also going to give me 2 perfectly equal pieces so that I can make 2 cards with this. So then I'm just lining up those little marks that I made at the 2 1/2 and the 3 1/2, and voila. Now I've got 2 pieces to make 2 of the same card. Okay, so we're going to just keep one of them right now. And while I've got this out, I've also got a piece here of Highland Heather. So the Highland Heather matches up really nice with our brand new fresh freesia. And so I'm going to be using those two together today. So this piece is actually quite long, and that's okay, because to cut my next diagonal, I'm actually going to do it while the piece is on my card. So I just cut there a 1-inch strip. And I'll put all this stuff off to the side because I think I'm done with my trimming. Those are just the two pieces I wanted to show you. Hi, Angela. Hi, Mary. Oh, it's already afternoon. Oh my gosh. You guys, we're just getting our day started. I just got the kids out the door for school. Oh, sorry that you're not feeling totally 100% yet, Janine. It'll get there. All right. So now I do have a question for you guys, though, for our card. So I'm going to be creating, I've got this that's going to be our base. So that's the pool party base. We're going to be putting a strip of Highland Heather on here. And then I'm going to be making flowers out of the fresh freesia. But I want like a little sentiment piece that's going to go there. And I can't decide if I want it in the Just Jade, which is one of our 2020 in color, so it kind of pops a little bit. Or if I want to use the Soft Succulent, which is one of our new ones. It's a little bit closer in shade to the pool party. So I worry that it'll get a little bit lost, but I'm going to be making a little banner for words, and then of course the leaves to go on our flowers, and I'm going to be cutting them out using, so we have all of our dies here. So I'll leave those there. So Just Jade or Soft Succulent are the two choices. And I'm going to be cutting out a couple of leaves as well to put on our fresh freesia flower. And actually here, I'm going to bring in the fresh freesia as well so you can see how it looks with the Just Jade and the Soft Succulent. All right. Good morning, Nancy. Good morning, Stacy. You like the newer one as well, Ruth? Okay, lots of people are saying Soft Succulent. It is just a little bit softer. The Just Jade, although it's subtle, it's still a little bit brighter. All right, I'll leave that there for just a few minutes. My words are going to be in white, Janine. All right. So while you guys are deciding on that, we're also going to just grab a piece of paper. So just a scrap piece of paper here. And we're going to do some stamping. I am going to grab my fresh freesia ink. There we go. So I'm going to move my dies out of the way. We don't need those just yet. I'm going to move your color choices over there. So Just Jade or Soft Succulent to go with the color combo. And then we've got our fresh freesia ink. Oh, I got 2 scraps. I don't think I need 2. All right. And I've got the beautiful flower here from our Pretty Perennials. I'm going to put it into our fresh freesia ink. And then I am going to stamp it off because it is quite dark if you don't. And we'll stamp it there really nice and light. And we're going to do this twice because I want 2 flowers for our card. There we go. So we've got 2 of that gorgeous flower. And then put that away. So that was our fresh freesia ink. And then I'm going to steal this fresh freesia. We're going to do a little bit of die cutting. I'll make it easier on you guys. I'm going to die cut both and see what you guys think. So I don't even care if this is like a perfect cut or anything because I'm just running this through our mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And we're going to cut out all of our little flower pieces. Make both. That's true. I do have 2 backgrounds. I could make both. I don't know if I'll do that on the air, but I'll show you guys the results if I do make both. Just to save time this morning. You guys don't have all day to watch me stamp. So I'm going to put down here my fresh freesia, and I've got this fun little outline die, and I'm going to run that through. So put that on, run that through. And run it back the other way. There we go. You don't actually have to cut this one twice. It's actually pretty good. Now this one does, my friend mine gets stuck though, so I just drop it down. Usually not dropping it on my paper, but onto my tabletop helps. And I can usually get it to just pop out. There we go. So just like that. So we're going to need 2 of those. So I'm going to run that through one more time. There we go. So, whoa, get all my sandwich together. So it's plate 1, plate 2, paper, die, plate 2 again, well, the second plate 2. And we're going to run this through. So I'll tell you guys a secret about today's card. When you watch me design tonight, you might see me make the exact same card because I actually had it all designed out in my head what I wanted to do with the Peaches set. And instead of trying to design a new card on the fly because my order didn't arrive, I just am using the exact same design and creating. So here, I'm going to show you guys another way. Instead of popping it out that way, you can also just use a paper piercer. The only reason I don't like to always do that is sometimes I end up tearing the flowers. So I'm going to use the exact same design that I was going to use for my peach card. The only thing I'm changing is the color schemes because, I don't know, I didn't think the flowers would look awesome in peachy colors. And also my In Color Designer Series paper is in the same order as my my peaches are. So we're waiting on all the bits. So it just changed up our color scheme and switched peaches to flowers. You could do this with strawberries. You could do this same card design with really any kind of image that you've got that's about this like 1.5 inch size. All right, so to cut out these flowers, just takes a little bit of switching that die around until you find the way that it lines up. And then pop our top plate on and run it through. There we go. And now, and those ones just fall out. And now for this last bit, I'm just going to trim off my excess here so that I've got more room on my plate, and I'm going to cut out my leaves at the same time as I cut out my flower. All right, so we're going to pop this back on, put down our paper with our die, just wiggle it around. Now there is one that has kind of a funny little bump to them, so if you can find the bumpy petal, match it up with the bumpy petal on the die, it goes a lot faster. There we go. Okay, and now I'm going to grab, I think I buried it underneath. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay, I'm going to cut a little strip of the soft succulent because that's the one I saw most people saying they thought we should use. So I'm going to cut a little strip of that. And we're going to put our little strip of soft succulent on our plate along with our 2 little leaf dies. And so this was just a 1 inch strip that I cut. You could probably get away with even cutting it smaller. All right, and we'll just run those through. There we go. And we'll make one more set of those leaves. I think I want leaves on both the flowers. So you can see those leaves got stuck in there as well and left those little bits behind. You can either run your fingernail down, or that's angled and is really good for scraping the bits off of your plates when they get stuck like that. All right, so we're going to do one more set of leaves and then we're done our die cutting. We've got to pop these out first. So I'm going to grab my paper piercer. Oh, we've got paper bits all over this table. My goodness. Okay. Whoa. Come on. There we go. So these are the sweetest little dies. You can actually create a card with this die set without even doing any stamping. The dies are that amazing. But I do like how it looks when you add a little bit of stamping as the background. Instead of stamping the flowers like I did though, you can just cut that flower shape out of another colored cardstock and go with it like that as well. That works entirely as well. Okay, there we go. So now I need to straighten up my desktop a bit. I've got everything all over the place here for you guys. So let's straighten that. Move some of our scraps out of the way. And let's get all of our pieces in here and start putting this one together. Okay, so put those dies together. There. So I'm not going to lose any dies today. I was at a convention this weekend, and a stamping convention, and I watched a demonstrator talk about organizational skills, and she was saying, don't just put it down, put it away. And that is something I'm really going to work hard at doing, so I don't have to take entire days away from stamping to clean my stamping space. So I'm going to really be working hard at doing that one. I'm really bad for that. All right, so we're going to glue that down, glue that down. We've decided not to use the Just Jade. I might do another one with the Just Jade, but we're going to stick to the, okay, so again, when you're lining these up, find that flower that has the little bump in it, and then find the die that has the little bump in it, and that's how you're going to line those up. All right, same with this one. Find the bumpy one. There we go. And match them up. So that's how we're going to get those matched up really well. So to do this, I'm going to actually be using mini glue dots, which I have right here. So they come on a roll, and they should be on the inside, although I do know there was a batch that was created the wrong way. So you're going to find them, find out which side your dots are on, and then just stick a dot, and it doesn't matter that we're going to have a sticky center, because we're going to be covering that up after the fact. Okay, so just live with the sticky center for a few minutes, and then we'll take care of that. Okay, so we've got that, we've got that. So we've stuck those down. Now my leaves, I'm going to take them, I'm going to find, like I like it so that the two holes on the inside are the ones that are at the top, so I'm going to find the other end, and I'm actually going to put a glue dot on the tip of it, like on the front of it, so it's sticky on the front. And then I'm going to stick that behind my flower. I'm going to do 2 of those on each one. Oops, find the front. There we go. All right. So 2 of those like that. So far I'm just kind of laying things out, seeing how I want them. All right, I think I want this guy behind. And then I think maybe we'll put these guys over here. Okay, so just do everything kind of loose until you get the design you like. Then you don't have to worry about like having committed to putting something somewhere that you've decided you don't like. So we can move everything around and twist it around and change it up at this point. Okay, so we've got our 2 flowers, just like that. And now we're going to come in here. Oh, now I just tear this off at my last glue dot and can get rid of that. And then this goes back into our box. Oh, hi, Catherine. How are you? We're just designing today with some Pretty Perennials and some new in colors. We've got the Fresh Freesia and the Soft Succulent paired up with our Pool Party and our Highland Heather. And now we need to find that piece of Soft Succulent again. I'm going to cut a 1/2 inch strip here. And I know this is longer than I need. That's okay. I cut a 1/2 inch strip here for my sentiment. And we're going to do some embossing today. So I'm going to bring back our Pretty Perennial stamp set. I was so tempted to use the happy and do happy birthday on the front of this card because this makes me happy. I love this stamp set. I'm actually going to stamp happy birthday on the inside, and I'm just going to do for you on the front so that we can keep our little label on the front of our card small and not take away from these gorgeous colors and the gorgeous flowers and everything. Oh, Janine, don't you worry. I am using dimensionals. These haven't been put down yet. If I don't use dimensionals on a card, please call somebody. I need help. You're right. Something is wrong. All right, so to do our embossing, I'm going to grab my Versamark. I've got my For You on my block. This is just the G block. I love these. I have like 6 of them so that I've always got my sentiments ready. And then I'm going to grab my very messy embossing tray. If you have small children or pets, I do not recommend keeping your embossing powder this way. That could be a big disaster. So I'm just going to ink that up with Versamark. I am going to stamp vertically because that's just how I can actually get this straight. And then, because I've got mine in a messy tray, I'm literally just going to roll it through and tap it off. I'm going to roll that through one more time. There we go, tap it off. And you can even do like a little flick on the back. If it's not all coming off, if you've got bits where you don't want them, if you've got a small paintbrush or even your paper piercer will work for this. You're just trying to, because these ones aren't stuck on with ink or anything, they're just sticking because of pure static cling. Just going to come through and then you can do another little tap. And there we go. I got all the loose bits out of there, so I can put my little paintbrush away. I'm going to put my messy tray away. You don't want to leave an open tray of embossing powder out when you're actually heating things. All right, here we go. Plug in my heat tool, and now we're going to heat this up. Okay, so we've got that embossed. My little safety tip for the day is unplug your heat tool. And there we go. So I'm now going to grab my tailored tag punch. You guys have seen me use this one a ton. I know we have other punches to do exactly what I'm doing. I just love my tailored tag punch. And that's going to be a really cute little label. So I'm going to leave that on my desk of scraps. I'm a big like lazy stamper, so if I can grab a scrap off my desk and use it as an element on a card, I would much rather do that than make a whole new thing just specific for a card. So I have all these scraps around me that I can just grab at any time. All right, and now that's going to go on our card right about like that. Okay, so now we get to start actually putting this together. I am going to use liquid glue because I am a klutz and will not get this piece straight if I don't. So, and then, I mean, we could have done, I was worried about doing straight lines on a diagonal, but we could have done this card with the diagonal showing as well, or with the straight lines and the dots. I love that pattern. I don't know, something about straight lines and then cutting it on a diagonal just didn't work for me. All right, so I've got way too much liquid glue on there. That's okay though. And now the reason I like the liquid glue is because I've actually got this touching my paper and I'm sliding it around so that I get it even in all the sides. It's kind of lining up on 3 sides exactly of the front of my card. Okay, so now my next piece though is my Highland Heather strip, and I am going to use Seal Plus on this. And the reason I'm doing that is because then I can put the Seal Plus on my card front, not on my paper. And then I can line my paper up. Let's see, like this. And I'm keeping it in line with that diagonal. Press it down. And now I don't have glue where I am going to be snipping, because that's my next job, is to snip off these excess pieces. That's why I cut a piece that was too big. Now I find it easiest to trim this if you flip it over backwards, because then you can see the exact line that you are cutting along. And same on this side. Flip it over backwards and follow the line. Okay, so you're using the card itself to guide you. All right. Oh, and actually, I just tossed that scrap in there, but that scrap is actually big enough, so I'm going to pull it back out. I'm going to show you something that I do with my little scraps like this guy, is my Strawberry Builder Punch. If you're lucky enough to have this already and you're not waiting for it on back order, anytime I have a fun color and a little scrap, before I toss it, I come in here and I punch out those little flowers from my Strawberry Builder, And then I actually have a case that we sell these in, I think they're sets of 4 or 5. These are great for putting old paper pumpkin pieces in. I keep my embellishments in them, but I also keep all of my strawberry scraps so that my scraps truly, truly never go to waste. And, you know, if I get too many of these in here, then I just pour them into a baggie and take them to school and let the kids at school design with them. But otherwise, I have a ton at home to use quickly on projects as well. Okay, so we've got that done. Now, Janine, I know you were worried about me. No dimensionals. Don't worry, here they come. And I'm actually using up scraps today. I've just got the trim here on a pack that I've just about finished. So I'm just going to come in here and snip these up a bit. So I've got good little pieces to use. You can also keep these whole and use them as borders if you're trying to do like shaker cards or something. And I'm going to pop one onto the back of each of my flowers. And now our first flower, we're going to place this one just gently. And I do want it to come down over the bottom of my Highland Heather. Now this is the one that's going underneath. And I'm actually going to place him up a bit higher, but make sure his leaves stay on your card. Same with when you're placing this one, make sure the leaves stay on your card. Nothing worse than a card that doesn't fit in the envelope. Okay, now this piece we're going to put on, and I'm going to use some of these smaller trim pieces. So I usually, when I cut these, I usually cut them in 2s, but because this guy is going all the way across, I'm going to cut a 3 for this one. And then I just need to use one piece. And I'm going to put it kind of closer to the bottom so that when I put this down, it's going to go over top of the flowers, but there won't be any dimensional on the flower. And then I'm also just going to put a little mini glue dot there so that it sticks down to my flower. All right, so let's grab those glue dots again. And I'm going to do 2, one on each end, just to keep it all nice and even. There we go. So here we are. Peel that off. And we're going to place that just like that. Excellent. All right, so now for the centers of our flowers, we are going to use some opal rounds. I've been holding on to these guys. I have an order that's arriving today that is filled with opal rounds, but they are not here yet. These are one of my favorite embellishments. These are also in the mini catalog, but yay, they are not retiring. They've moved on over to our annual catalog, so we'll have a whole other year to play with them, which is fabulous. So I'm going to do that for my center, and then we're going to really jazz this guy up with an embellishment that's actually currently unorderable, but luckily I have a bunch coming. I got them before they went unorderable. We are going to sprinkle these in color gems all over the place because they are too beautiful. Here we are. I'm going to throw one over here and one up there. Actually, maybe actually I'll do 2 over here. There we go. All right, so there are, and here you can see all of those colors. So I have very few of my polished pink left. And then we have the pale papaya, the evening evergreen, fresh freesia, and soft succulent, and they are just gorgeous. So those are our new in color gems. They'll be back soon, so if you didn't get some, or the other option for grabbing those is my In Color Club. Yesterday was technically the last day to sign up for my In Color Club, but I couldn't stay awake last night, so I haven't placed the order yet. So if you wanted to get in on that, you can. Now I'm just looking at this and it's missing something, and I think what it's missing is some white twine. So we're going to add that quickly. Our twine now, our white twine, you can still get it in the snail mail pack where you get a roll of white and a roll of one of our pinks. Which one is it? A Flirty Flamingo, I think it is. Or no, it's one of the softer ones. It must be Blushing Bride. So you can get that as the snail mail pack, but now in our new annual catalog, we actually get this 5-pack of all these really nice neutrals. So you've got gray and vanilla, white, black, and like crumb cake in here. So I'm going to grab some white. I just keep mine in a jar so it's nice and easy to grab. And I'm going to, that should be enough to tie a bow. I'm going to tie a bow and attach it with a mini glue dot after we've tied it. Normally I would, think ahead and wrap it around something so we didn't have to use adhesives to attach it, but I'm just looking at it today and thinking this card looks a little bit more plain than I had hoped. So I'm just making 2 bunny ears, wrapping them around each other, and then we just play around and size this the way we want. So just twisting and turning and getting it the way we want it to be. All right, make those a bit smaller still, I think. Okay, and I'm just going to pop that on there with a mini glue dot. No, I didn't make the fancy jar lid, Janine. They actually sell them at Pum. It's an organic shop nearby. I've seen them at dollar stores as well. And it's just a different lid that you can get for a jar. And then the jars were just ones that I had left over from making jam and stuff. So yeah, I just got the fancy lid at our local organic grocery store. All right, so we're going to pop that on with a mini glue dot. So I just rolled the mini glue dot behind so that it doesn't stick out. We don't have any sticky bits on the front of our card. And then I'm going to keep these quite long, but trim them up a bit. There we go. And maybe tuck that underneath our banner. No, actually I like it on top. We're just going to twist him so that he's not covering up the words. All right, there. That's better. All right, I like that. That finished it off a bit. Okay, so now we have our finished card. And yeah, watch tonight. Hopefully, hopefully my peaches will arrive today and you'll see me come on tonight and create this card again using those peaches. So I'm just going to switch my screen. All right, good morning everyone, and thank you so much for joining me and watching this morning. I hope you guys liked that card. Thanks for helping me make the decision with the colors. I really like the soft succulent. I think it goes very well with the pool party. And yeah, if you want more information about any of my upcoming events, you can go to stampinwithleah.ca to see all of my upcoming events. And otherwise, I'll see you later tonight and then again every Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. All right, bye everyone.